Hi, I'm Brendan, and welcome to Personality Epistemology. So in this video, I want to show this playlist that I've made. Briefly, the layout on screen, I'm working with this currently in the past day. And basically, it just has a bunch of reference points. Principles for Success by Ray Dalio, the issue of students being bored in school or worse in many cases, and this reference to myself when I was younger, and then I'm thinking about how are young people doing growing up today, what do people need to know, what would help, and we got this Divine Comedy participant observation theme, and The Machine is Changing Us, or The Machine is Us by Michael Wesch, on the politics of authenticity and YouTube. And then in a positive sense, this article, Affective Energy, Authentic Power, and Transforming Communities Toward a Phenomenology of Collaboration. And I'm seeking collaborators to help workshop these different things. So, so here is this playlist I made: enforced, embodied, embedded, inactive, epistemic, ethnography in liminal times. It's a lot of words. So let's see what we can do here. Okay, so first I have these videos about participant observation and narrative ethnographic research, including this short video on how autoethnography is research, not just personal storytelling. So, and then I have these videos about ADHD, and so, okay, and then so this gets to these broader issues. Teens in crisis, but so are men. Men are in crisis. All these different groups are in crisis, and this is on top of things being terrible for many people for a long time and ignored. So, and then I have the song High Hopes by Panic at the Disco, covered by Musicality. And this expresses this thing of like people are growing up and having high hopes a lot of times. Or like I grew up with like zero hope. I mean, I had hope, but it's like the message, it wasn't from most of what I was encountering. It was from understanding that and seeing that I live in a knowable universe, and people are able to, and I am able to make sense of things, even if I don't have all the answers currently. So then I have Ken Robinson, Changing Education Paradigms. I highly recommend that. Again, from 12 years ago. A lot of these things are from like 8 to 12 years ago, these education-related things, and somehow people forgot that education needs transformation, or just it's like it hasn't happened or something. So then people stop talking about it, and then meanwhile, time marches on. So then I have Buena Band's Don't Stay in School, and Silly Breaks, I Will Not Let an exam result decide my fate, or an album result. I guess it could be said the same thing for different things. And so then I have, so these get at the complete hypocrisy and nonsense of school. No offense to people who like school or are working in it. So then I have these songs that are about psychological distress. What About the Love by Janice Ian, Crucified by Tori Amos, and The Dark Word of Error by Martha Beck. And not just psychological distress, but these are all about some intense themes. And so including the distress people have, it's like judging other people and then realizing, oh, it's applicable to me too, or why am I responding like this, these types of things. And it's like shadow projection versus like coming to terms with oneself and others in a little bit different way. So, and then I have these fire-themed songs, Sarah McLachlan, Into the Fire, Dolly Parton, World on Fire, London Grammar, Hell to the Liars, which is a very sort of hell-themed song, calling out everyone in a self-reflexive way. And then Delirium, Euphoria, Firefly, which is gives some hope relative to all of that. And it goes, as long as you are true to the life that you live, now is the time to feel love. And so, and even when people aren't, there's the dark wood of error process of figuring out how to get back on track. So so self-transformation from vital mind, liminal space, and then more back to the issue of school is a complete, schools are in complete crisis. I mean, maybe not all are, but overall there's a huge problem. Many people don't want to work in them, or are distressed working in them, or know there's a problem. And so, but then I juxtapose that with this empty chairs at empty tables. I mean, young people are dying by the hour simply because because there's no way to actually get help figuring stuff out, or getting basic needs met, or all these things, or sorting out relational tangles. And so therefore I have the history of moral injury. And so as an observer of all of this, both in sort of a macro observer and knowing specific situations and seeing what's happening and having a lot of answers, but knowing that the system is designed to block those answers. I mean, I could maybe clarify what I mean by that, but for example, crisis response. Like in most cases, people's problems could be sorted out. They need more than a one-time crisis response in many cases, and in many cases there's no way to get that, certainly in a timely manner. Like a team of people actually helping figure stuff out that's curious and brings into some of these into play some of these concepts that are present in a bunch of sources, but they're fragmented. So then I have this interview about cognitive empathy, and this conversation about drift patterns. It's like people end up just sort of like drifting through life or whatever. So I have different playlists, but that's one, and I'll put a link in the description. And comments, questions, welcome. I'm interested to coordinate like a team to help produce these things into a larger class that's a little bit better produced, and also I need funds so my friends don't die, and so I can figure out various things. So more soon. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like or share this video, and more soon.